Hello everyone, welcome back to CR Investors Daily Update on Bitcoin and the altcoin markets. This is our technical overview of what our current stance is. These videos are about 5 minutes in duration, and they're brought to you by the good people at CoinRT. Looking at the charts, let's get busy. 4-hour basis, first off we'll take a look at Bitcoin. Bitfinex is the vehicle that I like to trade. 4-hour basis, you can see that we had our rally peak here in March at $719.50 or 25 cents. We came all the way down to 340. Nice technical bounce. You can see that was right back to the 50% level at 552, which set up a nice bullish ABCD pattern, and a resolution through this inverted head and shoulders suggested that this was going to play out, and indeed we had posted previously that a break of this 547 area would imply a bullish ABC target of about 640 area. Indeed, off of the inverted head and shoulders, we rallied up and hit that target, and as you can see on the 4-hour, this higher time frame basis, we've been gyrating back and forth just above that key level there. We rallied up to a high here of 685, and in my most recent commentary post I had suggested that sort of the easy lifting had been done on the inverted head and shoulders breakout up to the OTE short sweet zone. And now we were in for a bit of a battle. So as you can see, prices oscillated here on the higher time frames for a few sessions now. And as price has oscillated here, you can see that the momentum indicators had gotten a bit overbought and had built some bearish divergences. And so we're in the process right now of cleaning all of these divergences up. At the same time, you can see that the on-balance volume also topped out and broke down. And I would argue that we really can't start moving higher in earnest until we start to see this being cleaned up. So looking at the shorter time frames, here's the 15-minute chart of the Bitfinex. You can see this consolidation if we zoom this chart in a little bit more. You can see the consolidation over the past few days. I've been looking for 38.2 retracement of this big move, which should bring us back down to about 583. We have this smaller trend line here that's sort of acting as a neckline support line. If we break that, then you can see that the next significant trend line would be down here in this 38.2 area. And ideally, of course, we all know that institutions don't buy at the top, so if institutions were going to be buying off of this 4-hour chart, where would they be interested in? And they would be most interested in the OTE long zone, which right now is about 520 all the way down to 476. So let's go back and look at that 15-minute chart. You can see this consolidation in detail here, where we do have potentially this head and shoulders top. Here's our neckline here, left shoulder here, head here, right here. Over the past few days, all we've done is just sort of oscillated between these two levels. I don't personally trade off of the 15-minute. It's not economically viable considering the amount of coins that I trade. But for those that are interested, I think these points are pretty obvious. We had a nice double bottom coming off of the first sell-off here, which gave us a double bottom buy signal there at about 630, 640. We rallied up into the OTE shorts zone off of this sell-off. Not really a big surprise, you know, if institutions were going to short this market and play this downward channel, where would they likely put those shorts on? And you can see this is the OTE, or the optimal trade entry zone. Market rallied up into this zone and then promptly rolled over. Once we failed through this OTE short zone, I suppose one should have been looking for fibs on the way down. You can see that just off of this rally peak at 38.2, which is sort of my first stop target, was 650. And you can see we came down to that level a couple times. We tried to resolve bullishly through it, but as you can see, this rally breakout attempt here through the top of this channel, there just was no buying volume, and as a result, they couldn't find volume on the way up. So what they usually do is they explore the other side, And sure enough, when they got down and tested the bottom of this range, you can see that the OBV just kept churning lower. And the trend was very definitely down in the volume. And so this breakdown actually brought more volume out and continued that trend. Off of this 38.2 breakdown fail, I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, where is a likely place for prices to come back down into? Referring to our optimal trade entry zone, basically that was somewhere between 630 and 639, and as you can see, price came down here to 637. So nothing really out of the ordinary. We also had a bearish ABCD that implied 640 area, and that was validated as well. So once those two bearish targets were met, what did price do? It actually rallied back up, and if we zoom in even closer, we can see that from this low back up to this high, an optimal short entry, the 61.8 to 78.6 fibs, we're right in this sort of 655 area, and sure enough, price has rallied back up into there and is stalling again. So long and short of it right now, it looks to me like we are consolidating. We've had a substantial move on the 4 hours. You can see that this price action here of recent is just basically lots of back and forth, what I like to call chop. Should we get a bullish resolution through the top here, then obviously 719.25 is a big fat target for us, so we'll keep a close eye on that. And if the momentum and volume indicators support a trade, then we can take a look at that. I would actually consider that fairly high risk. Conversely, if we were going to pull back and look for levels that should support, we should see 583.55 as a bit of a support line here, and that would make sense if we broke down to try and form another larger head and shoulders pattern here, where this would be a shoulder, this would be the head, and then we make another shoulder here. And then ultimately, if institutions were buyers, where would they be willing to buy? And as I mentioned before, that level is 476 up to 520, and you can see we have trend lines and 200 periods moving averages in that area as well. So hopefully that puts the current price action of Bitcoin into perspective. This has just been a 5-minute summary of Bitcoin action and basically what my perception of price action is going forward and what I think is happening in the market right now. That's all for today, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.